Hey again, Allison. We are back with our pretty little baby doll. We totally need to give her a name, I think. I know you'll come up with something clever. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and come in here and go layer. Please don't be slow today. Okay, duplicate layer. And we will just do a quick check to make sure we didn't blow anything out when we're bumping up exposure. So, and quite possibly over here. But, so we're going to do a levels check. So we're going to go to levels, y'all. We're going to back out that 0 in the shadow box and put in 245. And nope, it looks like we're good. Maybe just a teeny tiny bit down here in the green channel, but I wouldn't worry about it. So since I already have levels open, I'm just going to show you. I do this to every single one of my images. I call it a levels bump. And I put 5 in the shadows. I move my midtones to 1.05 and it just brightens them up a little bit, and I bring the highlights down to 250. You can look at the before and after, and for this image I'm not sure why it looks really yucky in the background, but that brought it out, so I would bring it down and you can play with it. I never do it at 100%, but anyway. Okay, and then I know, bad habit, but I'm flattening. And we're going to go ahead and look at skin. So we're going to grab our dropper and find a bright midtone, hold shift and click, shift and click. And we're going to come over here to RGB because it defaults to RGB, and we're going to change it to CMYK. And basically what this is telling me is that the cyan is at 3, which is really low in proportion to what these two numbers are. So we're going to ask ourselves, is the cyan really low because she's really bright, or is the cyan low because she's really red? In this case, I think it's a little bit of both. So we can do a couple of things. I think I would first start by coming into the color balance layer. Remember, do not stay on midtones, come to highlights, and I think I would just start adding a excuse me, adding in a little bit of cyan into the highlights. I'm using my down key to go left towards cyan. So I'm just going to start bumping it down and keeping an eye on her skin until I see what I want to see, which is that sort of red cast being removed. Now I think I'm there. So if I take this level off, or layer, sorry, take it off and just watch, kind of watch globally, but watch her skin. So that's before and after, before and after, and I think that looks better. But we're gonna check with our numbers. We're going to hit F8 and we're going to look, and those numbers are better. So remember, we want cyan to be 1/3 to 1/5 of magenta, so we want it between 12, let's see, and 20, and it's still not quite where we want it to be. I don't really want to add that much more green to the image, so I think what we'll do is bring, let's see, and then of course I showed you, I still want to keep this. I want to keep the green, or excuse me, the cyan that we added, but I think that we're going to go back and undo where we added some brightness to her face. We're going to come down, make sure I'm going the right way. Sometimes I forget. Nope. Yeah, okay. We probably don't need to do that much, but let's see. Those are my midtones. Let's do a quick check. See, that's not changing it much. Maybe we need to bring down some of the highlights. So we do that. There we go. I bet that made a big difference. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, and we went too far because these numbers are kind of high. generally, you know where I like to be, like around a starting point between 6 and 10, but whatever, it's a little bit high, but that's what it was in this case. So the before and after. The before we brought the highlights down with levels, this cyan reading was reading low, and again we had to ask ourselves if it was because it was too red or if it was too bright, and I think that I decided that it was both. So we went in and added just a little bit of cyan because I did sort of see it cast, and I'm glad that we added that and it removed, but that wasn't quite enough for where we wanted our cyan to be. So we went into levels and pulled down the highlights, and I'll show you, whoopsie, not curves. Sorry, it's going slow. So I'll show you one more time where to do that. So this is your highlights, and so if you take, it ends here, but if you go down and you start dragging it to the left, that's how we can reduce our highlights. Let's see, whoopsie. Let me just throw this little, oh no, we used that one, sorry. Maybe we didn't use that one. Okay. It doesn't matter, but let me get this little guy in the trash. Here we go. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good, but I would bring this levels layer that we're on right here down just a little bit because I thought it was just a little bit harsh. So let's check one more time, and that brought that down to 10:34 or 10:31:41. So cyan is a third of magenta, and yellow excuse me, is 10 points higher. And like I told you, for somebody with olivey skin, which our little baby doll does have, she's not light like the other baby dolls. She had a ton of olive in her skin, and so that 10-point spread is really ideal. If she were a porcelain doll, we would want this number to be lower. Something like 6, 24, 25 would be more ideal for somebody with porcelain skin. The darker their skin gets, the more pigment they're going to have, the higher numbers these are going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Hopefully this was